Hi, my name is Maylee, and today we'll be talking about the ecology of obesity health risk. We'll be using the ecological models for that to improve it and to help it become more aware. Okay, so basically, there are five ecological models, which are individual, interpersonal, organizational, community, and public policy. So, with a lot of Americans being obese and whatnot, the first thing to help, I guess, with obesity is going to be self-determination. A person has to choose the lifestyle they want to change. That cannot happen overnight. It cannot be temporary. It has to be a lifelong commitment, and you basically have to change your lifestyle in order to become healthy. Um, Basically, you'll start by watching what you eat. Most people will eat, like, I guess, and gain obese from being, like, lazy because America nowadays, we tend to be very lazy and not exercise and not eat the foods that we need to eat in order to become healthy and the foods that our body needs to be nourished. And if we change our diet, that will be a big thing. Me personally, I like to eat, well, I'm not gonna sit there and lie to you. I eat a lot of like salads, like cereal, sandwiches, stuff like that. But I make sure, like, it's portioned or whatnot. That's another thing. People, like, they don't know how to portion at all. And if we know how to, like, do portions opposed to, like, just, eating whatever, then I feel like that will be more beneficial. And a lot of people, I know they watch what they eat and they log it and stuff like that. So there's lots of apps nowadays that will do like you can log all your calories that you take in and like stuff like that. And also another thing that leads on to being a healthy lifestyle would be exercising. Now I know that a lot of people don't exercise that much. I mean, I don't, but then again, my metabolism must be really high, so I have not gained weight yet, but it'll catch up to me. So basically, people need to be more active in what they do, so that way they're not, being lazy or couch potatoes. So that's like some of the personal things people can do in order to help prevent obesity, like personally. The family thing and the meals being said, eating healthy within the family will, well, no one wants to eat healthy alone because, like, that's hard to do and it's no fun. But, like, if families learn to, like, not give in to their kids, like, such, like, fattening foods and stuff, and, like, adults will eat, like, fattening foods and, like, stuff that is bad for them, then the obesity rate will go down because if they're eating right, if they're, at least having like one or two vegetables with every meal and, like portioning out everything and making sure their kids are active, then that will be very like important for that. Nowadays you see a lot of people on Instagram like modeling their foods and stuff, like what they eat and like how they like stay fit and whatnot. But a lot of people like want to follow that, so they will look like like how that person looks, I guess, or they'll be like an example. But you'll see it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, like your news feed on everything. How all these people that are like big like health freaks, I guess, are like making meals to where you can still eat food. So nowadays, I see a lot of families just from like babysitting in the past. If their kids say that they're hungry, the parents will just give them like any snacks they want. It doesn't even matter what it is. So like I feel like if parents monitored more of what their kids are like taking inside their bodies, then that can be a big factor too in obesity rates and lowering them. But then again, I've also seen a lot of parents that are like regulating everything that their kids are eating and like logging it all and like, or just even like making sure that there's nothing like like bad in the household for the kids to be able to reach to whenever they just want something, some cookies or something. And so that plays a big role because if your family isn't doing it, then you're not gonna want to be motivated to do it. Also, eating with a friend will be more easier to do, because like if your friend's doing it and like your friend group is doing it, then that'll make you want to do it and like motivate you to want to do that and to live a healthy lifestyle, so that way you don't become obese or like you like lose weight, so that way you like get under that obese category. Michelle Obama's regulation in schools with foods, I think that plays a big role, and I think that's very important. I'm very happy that she did that because she is trying to lower the rates. I think she's one of the biggest examples that I know of that has actually cared. Well, one big role model that's actually cared about healthy lifestyles. And schools nowadays, most mothers will pack their lunches for their kids, so that way the mothers know what their kids are eating and what their like bodies are taking. And I know like schools should incorporate like recess and stuff like that. You know, like more active stuff. I know like high schools have like athletics and like dance and stuff like that, and ways you can exercise, and lowering the cost of like gyms too will be, because gym memberships are so expensive. So if the regulations and stuff on gyms were more, I guess, suitable for people's lifestyles, then that will make people want to go more and like do stuff like that. I know there's different options besides just going to the gym and lifting weights, but there's like dance, there's running, there's yoga,
For people to be more active, so that way stay healthy. Get your kids and your family and friends to exercise with a friend, and you don't have to necessarily do big workouts. You can do it small, and you can make it really fun and get them involved in different activities and organizations, so that way they'll be able to keep moving around and being active.
Let's be real. Restaurants do not put anything on their menus that describes the food other than the price and what's in it. They do not distinguish between the healthier options and none. In a lot of restaurants, they do not offer that many healthy options just by like going to them. Like a couple of weeks ago, I was in a restaurant because I had my birthday a couple of weeks ago, and I noticed that like a lot of people were like eating, like just picking stuff off their menu and stuff and not looking what's in it, and like just American, we just don't think about stuff like that. And I know it's not like a big deal, but it is.
Here is a Jimmy John's menu, and as you can see, it has the price, the food, what's in it, and then this menu actually has the calories in it, which I think a lot of restaurants should start doing, so that our customers are aware of what they're eating and can track their calories. So I feel like if restaurants change up a bit on their menus, I think that can play a big role in eating out in case families want to eat out, so that way it won't be as nerve-wracking to know what kind of foods you're eating, you know, what's in them and how they're cooked and prepared.
Start with the community. Grocery store foods are not cheap. I'm telling you, I work in a grocery store. I know these things. Organic foods are going to be costing way more expensive, smaller amounts than opposed to regular foods that are typically sold like name brand foods. With a lot of people nowadays, with America, a lot of people are going into debt and stuff in order to, live everyday life. They don't want to add buying expensive foods into their budgets and stuff, because just, eating quicker foods would be easier than buying healthier foods and preparing and meal prepping. And I realized that like the grocery stores, we do give out coupons and stuff. It's for foods that are not as healthy and stuff, and stuff that we demo at HEB. That's the store I work at. The stuff that we do demo, it's like family stuff and like burgers, ice cream, chips, salsa, stuff like that. And that is by no means healthy. But I'm not saying you have to cut it all out of your diet. But if the grocery stores are like promoting healthier foods, like dips that are more nutritional and stuff like that, and like giving out coupons for that, that would be like a big impact, and want to motivate people to want to buy stuff so they can bring it to their houses and eat it with their families. Easy ways to access food, like healthier foods. A lot of people will do like Blue Apron and like stuff like that, so that way they know, like, or Hello Fresh, that's a good one too. They'll purchase food off the internet and have it shipped to their houses, so so that way they can regulate everything. And I know a lot of people don't eat at a certain day, like certain time of the day, and then they will go to the gym right after, like 30 minutes after. I'm not saying you have to like completely change your lifestyle, but like just a little bit of amount of a difference will make like a huge difference that will add up throughout the course of time. With the cost of healthcare rising tremendously nowadays, they should put in some kind of regulation to where healthcare can be more accessible to everyone and not just certain people. So that way they can either work out payment plans or set up like insurance things so that way they can pay either a copay or something like that, so that way more people will want to visit the doctor or a dietitian, nutritionist, stuff like that, so that, or anything really that you have to pay to be a part of or to go like visit someone with. So one thing they can do that by is taking into consideration the obesity rates that are currently happening in America right now. Not even America, like honestly the world, and figure out something to where they can help lower income families or families who don't come from such, well-off families, to where they can afford health care too, so that way they can receive the same treatment and care that any other person would have. And also, doctors should put into a policy that they would be accepting to anyone that would come into their office, because a lot of people, they get turned down because they're overweight and stuff like that, because the doctors just don't want to deal with it. So I think that if the doctors put into a policy to where they have to see everyone no matter their weight, size, stuff like that, then I think that would play a big impact as people wanting to receive help and the health care that they will need in order to lower the rates of obesity. Also, there are several different ways to help lower the rate of obesity. It's just putting them into effect, and how public health officials and doctors, nurses, specialists can come together and think of ways to reduce the risk and even prevent it, or help people who are obese become not as obese or become even more healthier than what they currently are. So that way people can just be happier and just have a healthier lifestyle. That's all people really want. So with all that being said, I do think that there is tons of ways for the ecology model and ecology health can be used to help people reduce a lot of health factors too, not just obesity. And I think that with everyone working together and coming up with ways to make their environment and communities and world more healthier, it's just a big impact. I think it's very special and something that a lot of people need to consider more. And I just think it plays a big impact on everyone's lives, just changing the world a little bit at a time. So, with a little bit of exercise, a little bit of lifestyle change, a little bit of a diet change, healthcare cost change, I definitely think the obesity health rates will go down.